I would always say that if I had gone on to do accounting, I would have betrayed myself. So I would say do not betray yourself because people are going to say no, but why are you doing that? Because what I did, I think it's for someone it can be, why would you do that? People would try to like inflict fear onto me. What if it doesn't work out and things like that? So stay the course. Believe in your journey and do not betray yourself by doing something that deep down you do not want to do, and just search for go on to work your dream will remain a dream if you remain sleeping, but if you work it can be a beautiful story, it can be a reality, and you get to inspire people around you. So it's very important to just listen to the voice.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. This is Dr. T, and I'm excited. I have an MBCHB student here. It's been difficult to find, but finally we are here. Ma'am, without wasting any time, let me just welcome you. If you can just share a bit about yourself, who is Keletso, where are you coming from, before we get into your career path. Over to you and welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm Mekwa. I'm a second year medical student and accounting science graduate. I come from Temba, and I went to high school. I matriculated in Prestige College.
Oh, wow. Say the last part. I missed the last part.
Oh, I was saying I'm 22. Turning
Oh,
to yeah.
okay, super. Yeah, Keleso, thank you so much and thank you for your time. Obviously, I think my main interest is how you got into medicine from accounting. But before we get into that, maybe just a brief. How did you get into accounting and why did you choose a career in accounting?
Okay, so to be honest with you, it was very random how I kind of went for accounting. So I was a top achiever in school. So, I think we don't often talk about how difficult it can be having to choose one thing that you're kind of good at when you see yourself as being good at many different things. So I remember in matric, I had no idea what I was going to study. So I even went to ask my teachers, what do you think I should do? So, the maths teacher will say something in maths, and then the physics teacher will say something in physics or engineering. So I was really confused about what I should do. But then what informed that decision was that there was this accounting Olympiad that I took, and I was invited to a psycho engagement, me and this other classmate of mine. So we attended that, and I saw CAs and CEOs, and I thought, okay, maybe I can actually do this. So I think because that's what I was exposed to. And I think we can also talk about the power of proximity because, when you're exposed to certain things, you tend to have an interest in those things. So
True.
that's what I was exposed to at the time, and I thought, okay, maybe I can actually do this. So that's what informed my decision to get into accounting.
Okay. So after matric, you applied for accounting and you did it where? Somewhere in Joburg or something, Vets
I
or
did it
UJ.
I did it Wits.
Okay. And how was it? How was experiencing the course and being in the program?
So I remember feeling like a foreigner when I arrived. When I started doing accounting, I felt like a foreigner. And I was searching for a feeling for
Hmm.
quite a while. I was searching for a feeling of belonging, not at vets, but in the degree. And I knew that there was something that was missing, because I would look around and I would see people, having ambitions with this degree, and I didn't really see a vision, for myself in accounting. So that's what it was. But then I had that thing of, I just got here, so maybe I'm still transitioning from high school, and what I'm searching for probably doesn't even exist. Um, and yeah, that's kind of how it was. I wasn't really fulfilled, but I couldn't really speak about it, because, as a top achiever, people expect you to get to varsity and know what you're going to do. And that wasn't the case for me when I got to varsity. And I stayed in my own little shell, and I carried that heaviness, that burden of, I don't think I belong here, for quite a while. And I just went on with it.
And at what point did you come to a point where you say, enough is enough, let me go and look for my love or whatever I'm interested in?
So
was there ever that point? I assume there was that point.
there was. I think actually throughout the degree, I was always searching for, what it is that I truly want to do. And there's a bit of divinity in this part of the story as well, because it was something that I think I was intentionally seeking for answers. I would even go to the extent of taking quizzes, taking online tests, of, okay, which career suits me the most based on my personality and all of those things. And it would always point me to health, And I remember I had this friend of mine who was doing a BSc, and she would tell you that when we would study together, I would actually take her anatomy notes, and I would go through them, and I'd be so interested. So there were cues around me that were kind of pointing me to where I would eventually be. And even things like, it was so funny, but I think it's sweet when I think about it. I remember I would come back from writing a test. So we would usually write at this exam venue called Hall 29. Those who know it. So I would come back from there. When I come back from that venue, going to the bus terminal, I would pass by people wearing scrubs, and there would be something in me that just says, no, that is supposed to be you. So I didn't really silence that voice. I paid attention to it, and I kind of ran with it, even though I was continuing with accounting, because I think it was important for me to complete what I started. I do not believe in creating a habit of, I'm going to just let this thing be, or I'm going to put it on pause. So it was important for me to complete, but also pay attention to that voice inside that said, I think this is where I'm supposed to be.
Wow. Very inspiring. And yeah, I can imagine. And I like that when you say the cues were there. I had a
Yeah.
similar experience. But focusing on you, so at what point then you did your degree and you completed, and when medicine come into the picture?
Um, when I was doing my final year, it was already settled that medicine would be the thing for me. I think because I had felt strongly about it, and it was an interest that I had even prior, but I didn't really look into it that much, because there would be people that would kind of shut that down, people that would say, no, but it takes time, no, are you sure you want to deal with blood, and some of these things you are not aware that people are planting things in you. So I think it's always very important to be surrounded by people who speak life into you, so it was that. But because I felt so strongly about it, I went on to listen to the voice. In my final year, I said, you know what, I'm going to apply for medicine. So I didn't tell anyone about it. I said, this is it felt very sacred for me. So I applied in silence. I did my thing, and people were actually surprised when I went on to do it, because I didn't really speak about it. I think it was only a few people who knew that I would want to go to medicine. So I did apply in my final year, and yeah.
Wow, and here you are now doing
And here,
second year. Wow, wow, wow. Last time I met you, I told you that you must have been a high achiever, and I'm glad that you have confirmed it, that you are a top achiever at school. But still, you must have achieved very good marks, and then I mean like very good, excellent marks, because SMU takes about 5 people with a degree into the program. So you must have performed very well at your final year.
Yeah, no, I did apply myself. But it wasn't necessarily for, when I do things, it's not I'm doing this for medicine. It was I really stand for excellence. I stand for just applying myself no matter what the future will look like. So I think that filters into like other areas of my life, because I'm so intentional about applying myself in everything that I do.
So when I say you did well, like how well did you do? Maybe let me just ask you that. Maybe somebody want to follow your footsteps. They must know.
Well, I wasn't entirely like, a star, but I did have some distinctions on my transcript. I had some certificates. I had
Wow.
yeah, so it
Wow.
was, I think overall my transcript was quite,
Impressive.
yeah.
I think I've been very humble. It's fine. Because I know to get into medicine from being a graduate, it's really demanding. The competition is very high. Actually, it's more difficult to get into medicine with a degree than it is from a matric.
Yeah.
Because at SMU in particular, you are competing for a space of 5 people. So really, they take, cream de la cream, top achievers.
Yeah.
So you applied. So when you completed your accounting course, you never did anything after that. You never went for any job, internship, or anything. You went straight to medicine.
Yeah, I did go straight into medicine. I actually graduated last year, and I had already started, with my first year. So yeah, I never
Okay.
for anything.
And how was it to get the letter of acceptance into medicine?
Yo, I remember it felt, going back to that time, it felt like an affirmation, that, because I really believe that when you demand something and it happens for you, you're kind of being directed to that path. It was an affirmation that, yeah, this is really the path that you need to take. And I literally just opened my arms, and I held on to it. So it was really humbling. It was affirming, and yeah, I couldn't wait for the journey.
Get to a point where you sit in class and say, "Oh, if I went to work, now my friends are working, they're enjoying themselves. I would not have been here, been trouble with anatomy."
Not necessarily. I think
Yeah,
I think I believe in my journey, and
yeah.
I don't I don't really suffer from, this person is doing this, and but what about me? So I think I believe in my own journey, because if I'm going to look sideways, I'm going to miss out on a lot of what is happening in my journey. So I'm always careful to, even in moments where, the voice kind of tries to calm and say, no, but what if, where could you have been if you had gone to work or whatever? I really try to say, no, this is my journey, and I'm just going to walk it. Because I do have friends that were in class with me, right now they're working and they're doing very well, and I'm excited for them, I'm happy for them, and that's their journey, you know, and I'm going to walk mine. So yeah, I think that's what it is.
Awesome, awesome. I like that. Believing in your journey. And I
Mm.
think that's the most important part, because most of the time we compare not our journey with others,
Yeah,
not knowing the thing that eats us inside. And you are the only one who know the feeling that you had while you were doing accounting.
yeah.
You are the one who had to deal with that silent voice when you sit on your bed.
Mm.
People are excited, they go home, you are doing final year, but when you're inside, you are not happy with that. Only
Yeah,
you know that.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm glad. I'm happy to hear that. And I think that's the most important part. Always believe in your gene and never compare yourself.
Yeah.
And now you got into medicine, and for somebody who doesn't know medicine at all, what kind of contents do you study? At least first year, second year, what do you study? Is there anything that you can compare to a course in matric or a subject?
So in first year we did biology, physics. We did chemistry as well. It's kind of a build up from matric. So in the first
Mm.
semester, that's pretty much what we did. And I know that the curriculum kind of changed because at first it used to be like that for the whole year, but now it's only done in the first semester, and then you go on to do anatomy, to be introduced to anatomy and physiology in second semester, and then you continue with that in second year, and it's integrated now.
Mm. And for somebody who might be caught up in, it might not be in accounting per se, but any program, but deep down when they sit on their bed and they are alone in their room, there's that voice or void
Mm.
in their hearts that you are in the wrong place, just drop out or go wherever. How would you encourage them? Because you had to deal with that for over 3 years. How would you encourage people like that? There are many out there that
Mm.
are going to be watching this. Others that are doing BSc extended program, others that are doing BSc main, others that are in OT, others that are in speech, others are in BRED or any other field out there. That are listening to this, hearing your story, inspired by your journey that you went for your dream. How do you encourage them at least to process those emotions, thought patterns, and all that?
I would say first of all, do not neglect that voice. Do not shut it down. Listen to it and what it's telling you. And I would always say that if I had gone on to do accounting, I would have betrayed myself. So I would say do not betray yourself because people are going to say no, but why are you doing that? Because what I did, I think it's for someone it can be, why would you do that? People would try to like inflict fear onto me. What if it doesn't work out and things like that? So stay the course. Believe in your journey, and do not betray yourself by doing something that you know deep down you do not want to do. And just search for, go on to work your dream. Your dream will remain a dream if you remain sleeping, but if you work it, it can be a beautiful story, it can be a reality, and you get to inspire people around you. So it's very important to just listen to the voice, not betray yourself, not settle for what people around you, society says you need to be doing, and go on to pursue your own dream.
Wow, wow, wow. You are so loaded with quotes. I should be writing a book after this. I like that. A dream will remain a dream unless you decide to remain sleeping. So, Keletso, and I want to get, because somebody might be hearing you now. It sounds easier that, I hang in there, I did accounting, I finished, I went for my dream, I believed in my journey, I tried to stay positive and all of that. I'm trying to think. There must have been a point, maybe in second year or third year, where you said, you know what? I need to be honest. I want to do medicine. I'm going to keep it secret, keep it to myself. I don't want negativity.
Yeah.
What then? What thinking had to put in mind? Had to put in place in order to sustain you until you complete? I can just imagine writing that exam, knowing that it does not mean the same to the person next door.
Yeah.
You know, somebody, for them, if I can get this, you know, it's my ticket to my career. But for you, it was just a gateway to another career path or career journey. What helped you to keep that composed and still be able to pass and pass very well? Because I'm asking this because that's the issue that we have with most students in BSc in particular, who are there but they want to do medicine. You find a person was performing well, but when they get to first year, second year, they no longer perform because they're discouraged. They're doing what they want to do, and they've concluded, I want to do medicine. But that demotivation on its own make them not to perform even to a point where they can't even get into medicine. What will you share with them? What maintain you during that time? Because it must be the hardest time to be at.
Yeah. I really I surrounded myself with very positive people. So I didn't really have a large circle of friends, but there were people that were kind of in my corner and that I told about this thing that I want. I remember one of the friends that I had was doing BDS, and you know, having someone to kind of account to, someone who will say, no, let's study. You know that you want to do medicine. You know that you actually want to get up here. So even at those times when I felt discouraged, there were people that were holding me. There were people who encouraged me to speak into me and remind me of what I want to eventually achieve. So, and also on my own, I really exposed myself to people. Like on Instagram, I would watch, people in the field, because I didn't really have a tangible person that I would look to who was in the field, right? So I would look at, amazing doctors on Instagram. I would watch their journeys. I would, see how they are in the hospitals and things that they would just share with people. I remember one of them was Dr. Nosipo, and there was Dr. Kanyile as well, who really inspired my journey. So such people, I think, really encouraged me, even though they were not really, they were just people that I saw on social media. There was no proximity. But when there are people who are tangible representations, then you get to be inspired and motivated. Because sometimes, you won't always be motivated internally, and that is you need to see it. You need to see that it is possible. So I got to see that it is possible, through those people, that I can actually do this. Even when I felt discouraged, people around me reminding me looking at people and constantly reminding myself of what I'm trying to achieve. Because if I had not gone past that, the truth was that I was not going to move out, to get out of that system. So I knew that I had to get out of the system for me to eventually just fly and go to where I wanted to be. So I really think when you feel discouraged, try to find someone or people that will feed you. Surround yourself with people who are going to be sort of accountability partners and hold you accountable to what you're trying to achieve, and just remind you of even on days when you forget, that you are trying to achieve this, so you need to work your dream. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. Look, you have got a very beautiful story, and now I understand why I was following you around all this time. I couldn't let this pass me by, and I'm glad that we're doing this interview. And I'm hoping that when this video is out, I can also show the pictures. I'm going to ask you to share the pictures of all this Instagram we are referring to, just to honor the people who contributed to your journey, because I think it's a very beautiful journey. In conclusion, now you are in medicine, you are in the field of your dream, which you've been getting cued since I don't know how many years back. and you ignored it, but eventually you answered that call and followed it.
Yeah.
Anybody out there who might be where you were maybe 2 years ago, 3 years ago, they've already decided, they've seen their journey. Now is the time for them to take a step and in your own ways to believe in their journey. And you said something that I think was very profound. You said, do not betray yourself.
Mm.
There are people now who have decided they're not going to betray themselves. They're going to believe in their journey, take that leap of faith. What will you encourage them on that journey? Because I know it's easy to have it in your mind, but to start, you need to at least have people in your journey that support you.
Yeah.
Those ones in particular, what are your words of encouragement, or maybe just nice quotes that you have in your pocket? I think there are a lot. If I can continue, I'm going to be having a list of them.
I think I would say that first of all, there's so much power in deciding to do um, what is not always done. There's something very powerful in taking the road less traveled. You know, there's something very powerful in not doing what is always expected of you. And I think there are also rewards for following that voice in you that says, no, don't take that road, take this one. So stay the course, surround yourself with people who will motivate and encourage you, consume content or anything that will just inspire you, because you know it's very important that you surround yourself and you consume something that reflects what you are trying to achieve. So if you're trying to be excellent, you need to expose yourself to excellence, and you need to surround yourself with people who stand for excellence. So that's what I say to them, and that you know they just need to stay the course and continue working their dreams. And yeah, this journey is long and it's going to unfold beautifully. So we just need to trust and believe that you know it will unfold as it needs to. Because I'm not always motivated, even in medicine. I'm not always motivated. There are those times where I ask myself, um, did I really make the right decision? You know, those times when anatomy gets very tricky. I'll just be like, okay, did I really make the right decision? And then I go back to that time when I got accepted, and I remember that this is something that I've been wanting to do. And I think because I practiced the art of completing things, I'm able to endure no matter what happens, you know, on this journey of mine. Because of those principles that I learned when I was doing accounting, I'm now able to apply them. When it gets hard, I know that, you know, I just need to keep running. Things will unfold, because you won't stay in the valley forever. That's the truth of the matter. You know, it's going to unfold. It's going to be, things are going to look up eventually. And yeah.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Look, last question, and this one is just for the matriculants
Okay.
and those in grade 11. You were in grade 12. You took accounting because of what you were exposed to. In your own words, you spoke about the power of proximity.
Mm.
And there might be people also in that particular situation even today, and they might end up choosing careers that they might end up not enjoying, and later they have to change career, switch to other programs. What advice will you give them to help them at least choose the right way from matric to avoid having to switch later? This could apply to any matriculant at the moment or any student in grade 11. What are the things that maybe they might need to be aware of or do now that can help them make the right career decision?
I think they would need to really know what they're getting themselves into. You know, I think some careers we go into them because they sound attractive. You're thinking, okay, I'm going to be a doctor, I'm going to be a CA, but you don't really know what is expected of you. So it's very important. Now we're living in a digital, age, and there are resources around us. You can always research on what this thing is about. If you see someone on social media and they in this career that you think you're interested in, speak to those people, ask them, how was your journey like? What was your journey like? And some people even share like on platforms like YouTube about their journeys. So just know what you're getting yourself into, and not just go into something because I'm going to be a doctor, I'm going to be a CA. Because when things get tough, and they will get tough, no matter how academically strong you are, there will be those times that just challenge you. You need something firm to stand on. You need a foundation to stand on. So if it's just the title, then the foundation is not strong enough. You need something bigger than that to carry you. So it's very important to research about what you're trying to do. If you can go for, like, there's some companies that offer job shadowing, do things like that. Resources are there for people to use, and people are there. I think I really love the human experience, and it's invaluable. Human experience is invaluable when you're trying to find out something about um, a certain path or journey. A human can tell you like amazingly about that thing. So yeah.
Oh, super, super. I want to conclude, but you are so inspiring. So I'm thinking of asking two last questions.
No
Tell
problem.
me, I did a video about the GEMB program. I don't know if you are aware of it, the one at VETS.
Mm-hmm.
Was it not an option when you competed? Why did you not consider it and decided to start at first year? Were you aware of it at that time? Or I know people who just I want to start at first year.
Yeah.
I'm sure with your level of achievement, you'll have been able to get into it.
So that program needs you to have had science courses, right? And
Yes.
because I did accounting, I didn't have any science courses. So I would have had to maybe go to maybe a university, or at VETS, apply for a BSc, or apply for a BSc at UNISA, and then have those courses that are requirements for me to actually get into the program.
Okay.
So because of
Okay.
what I did, there was no possibility for me getting into the program.
Okay. Okay. No, no, no. Awesome. And you are right. I think one needs to have specific courses for them to enroll into it. But anybody watching, I think we're interested in alternative career path. I think that's one of the course that I recommend. If you've got a degree, you want to do medicine, go through the GEMP. As
Yes.
long as you've got a degree, there's a video I did on that. And I think the other UCT have got you can get enrolled into a second year program.
Yes.
UP, they've got different selection option, but you started first year. I think there was a video I did as well about alternative career path. So thank you so much. I really appreciate this interview. Actually, reminded me there's an interview I did with the awesome Dr. Vusanani.
Okay.
She's busy with an internship. She actually got 3 distinction in Guyana and I think Ops. I can't remember. Yeah, I can't remember. No, psychiatry, Guyana, and I can't remember the third one. It was very inspirational. So when I'm listening to you, I'm actually being reminded of that particular interview. Last question, and this is the last one. What does the future hold for you? I know you're in second year. You're just thinking, you know what, if I can just go through the next 4 years.
Yes.
But when you think about the future, where do you see yourself post completion of your medicine?
Wow, that's a beautiful question. So I have thought of specializing. I think I'm still to maybe understand or know more about what I would want to specialize in. But at the moment, the options for me are probably getting into public health, because I love speaking, engaging with people, and I get to impact people even globally through that. And the other option for me is obstetrics and gynecology. So yeah, I think in terms of the medical journey and where I see myself in future, those are the possible options for me. And I'll see how it all unfolds. But I'm really hopeful. That much I can say. I'm very hopeful. Getting into this journey has shown me that it's possible. You know, it has shown me that possibilities do exist, and I can't wait to see how mine unfolds.
Awesome. I Keletso Mekwa. Thank you so much.
Work with the World Health Organization one day, the United Nations, if they
Super.
get this, and yeah.
Look, I think with the way, you have reflected about your career journey and the positive mindset that you have, you sound like you are a person who can actually achieve anything that they put their mind to. I know that it took a lot for you to come from an accounting and get into medicine, and still be able to do well in it. So I've no doubt that you can actually achieve anything that you put your mind to. Look, you have done well in searching for your belonging, which I think you have it in medicine. So I'm sure you can find it in any field that you plan to go into. So thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. I'm sure anybody who's going to be watching this, they will be inspired. Your journey, I think, is very awesome to hear. It's a very beautiful story. So I'm sure anybody who might find themselves where you were 3 years ago, they will actually find it very inspiring and very informative. So thank you, and enjoy the rest of your journey.
Thank you.
Thank you.